my son's up there recounting the Taney game from last night. I'm like, all right, I got to go, Brian. I got to go.
Coach, a lot has been made about the offense and PJ's improvement. What struck me today was how great the secondary looked, especially with the two transfer safeties, Alex Wells and Kerry Lucas. You got freshman quarterback Sean Chandler, who looks very impressive. Can you talk a little bit more about that, how the defense has improved since last season?
It's a good question. And particularly the defensive backfield, I think the great thing that we have going is there's a lot of depth. The one thing that we've said as a staff is we really don't know what we have until we get into a game situation. You know, Sean Chandler, Kyrie Lucas, Alex Wells, they haven't gotten down and played in the game yet. Mm-hmm. So, but we're pleased with what we see so far in practice. We had Will Hayes back out there yesterday, so we have about 5 safeties that could go in the game for us. We have about 6 corners that we think could go in the game for us. And in this league, you need those guys. We're gonna face 4 wides, 5 wides. We need to have guys ready, and so as much as it is about building the ones, it's also about building depth and having guys who can finish the season out. So there's 10, 11, 12 guys that are in the mix, and I couldn't tell you who's going to start right now because it kind of changes day by day, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
What stood out after watching film from Saturday's scrimmage?
I thought the defense blitzed really hard. I thought that the offense, what was clear was they missed having Kyle in there, making sure that as an offensive line we're all going to the right guys, not even necessarily the physical play, just maybe the cohesiveness of having him out there. And, you know, I thought we had some receivers who really played well. Khalif Urban really played well. Jalen Fitzpatrick really played well. And we had some other guys at all positions who the moment might have been a little too big for them. So that's part of our job, that we keep bringing guys along, challenge them, tell them, hey, the moment was too big for you, and give them another moment and see if it's too big for them. So we're just trying to get them ready for game day so that by the time we get to game 1, 2, 3, 4, our kids are confident and you know, they're ready for any challenge. But I would say a couple of those guys really stood out.
Watching John Christopher play on a broken foot last year, what did that tell you about him as a player and a person?
Well, just that he's, you know, the consummate tough guy. You know, I mean, how many guys do you know that'll snap for punts, snap for field goals, run down on kickoff, return punts, and play wide receiver? Right. And you know, he makes a diving catch at SMU last year that made the ESPN top 10 plays. What I love about it is that he ran down on the next kickoff, right. And that's who John Christopher is. And so, you know, he was voted by his teammates into the single digits, and he has 2nd year in a row. So. When your teammates vote you, it means something, you know. And he's physically tough. He's mentally tough. He's a great student. He's a great teammate. He's fast, athletic. He's everything that we're trying to find here. He's exactly what we're trying to recruit.
How's he looking to you this year?
He's healthy. He's definitely healthy, and I think he's improved. I mean, I think he's trusted his speed. You know, I think sometimes he thinks of himself as a utility guy. You know, I thinks of himself as hey, I can do a lot of things. And when I've tried to impress upon him, he's a low 4-5 guy. He can run, and so he needs to go be a big play threat. And he did that at times last year. He got a lot of long touchdowns, but he needs to do it. He needs to take it to the next level in terms of challenging the guy in bump and run and trying to run by him. And I see that. I see real progress in his development this fall.
And you were able to move him around a lot. I mean, Robbie Anderson started to emerge, and then you moved him around a little bit more, you know, to make room for him. Just talk about his versatility.
Yeah, well,
he already had to a degree.
He has tremendous versatility in terms of all the position he plays. But then even within our offense, he can play. You know, he can play inside. He can play outside. He can play quarterback. I mean, he understands what we're doing. He and Jalen give us 2 really smart, intelligent football players. John Christopher is a really smart, intelligent football player, and we can put him in positions to do jobs. We can put him in positions where we think he's going to get the ball, and without missing a beat.
How do you plan on using your tight ends this year? It's a relatively inexperienced group there's really no standout. How do you plan on using everybody to get matchup problems?
Well, you know, I think Wanami Amuso returning as a starter from last year proved to us that he could be that on-the-line tight end that we've been looking for and still be athletic enough to be in the passing game. And once we lost him last year in the Cincinnati game, it really hurt us as the year went on. You know, he can block power, he can block counter. He's a true blocking tight end. And I think added that mix is Sal Major, who sat out last year. He's got 2 years left with us, and Sal gives us a tight end who can also be on the line, but can be a fullback, can motion out and be a receiver. So we want to have tight ends with versatility, and both those tight ends can do that. After that, you know, Cole Boozer, you know, he's a young guy. We're trying to develop him. Kip Patton as a freshman and Christian Myrick as freshmen. So those 2 guys we're hoping that maybe we don't have to play them. And then part of that's Colin Thompson. As he gets healthy, I think we'll have 3 tight ends that allow us to, combine with Mark Tyson and Eric Neff at fullback that can be versatile, that can block on the line of scrimmage, run routes, but can also play fullback or split out. So we're looking for that versatility. I think they're going to do a nice job by committee.
As far as the wide receivers go, you mentioned Khalil. Obviously, in past interviews, you say Darren Sproles type player. As far as like a number 1 and 2 receiver, you get some tall freshmen, some tall juniors. Seems like a lot of rotation was going on today. What can you say about as far as a set 1 and 2 receiver?
Yeah, I don't know if we're there yet, to be quite honest. I think we still have a lot of guys fighting for jobs. Jalen Fitzpatrick, I held out a little bit this morning because I know what Jalen can do, and I want to see what the young guys can do. Matt Eaton's back off of injury. Nate Harrison's run with the 1s and 2s, all camp. Brandon Shippen has emerged as a deep play threat for us. Sam Benjamin did not have a great scrimmage the other day, and we challenged him. He came out today, and I thought he really looked like he played well. So we tried to get some guys in there that, today that we could compete with because we want to know who the top 4, top 6 are heading into the games, and I don't know that yet. And I think that's a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think Jalen has cemented himself, and John Christopher, they've cemented themselves. They can do it all for us. Next being Khalif, and then after that, it's who else can help us, and we're just trying to let them compete that probably all the way through the Thursday of game week.
Okay.
When will you begin your focus for Vanderbilt?
We will. So we have a 2-a-day today. We'll practice tomorrow. We'll practice Wednesday. We'll take Thursday off, and Friday morning we'll begin game week. That'll be like a Sunday of a game week, and we'll start preparing for that first game, but we won't do it then. We don't want it to be too early where it's not fresh. And plus, our offense is similar enough to Vanderbilt that we can what we're expecting them to do, that we can hopefully practice a lot against each other. And then Coach Mason was he was a 3-4 guy out there, and that's not really what we do, but we can simulate that in some ways. So we'll wait till Friday to start really worrying about that. Right now we're just working against ourselves and hoping that good work will translate.
In the NFL nowadays, you have like Rob Gronkowski and Jimmy Graham, where they can line up on the line at the end of the line, or they can line up in the slot. They have that versatility. Do your tight ends have that versatility where they can do everything?
They probably want me to say that they're Jimmy Graham. Jimmy can go out and catch a fade. Dunk, I won't let them dunk it over the goalpost. So, but I think our tight ends are really versatile. I think they have the ability to be spread out, to be on the line of scrimmage. And I think the third component of that's be like a fullback. Because people aren't really playing with a fullback a ton anymore. We still do, but we want to be able to use the tight ends to do that. So, I think between Sal and Wanemi, those 2 guys are definitely have that versatility. The other guys, they're trying to develop that, but those 2 definitely have it.
Is there a front runner for the number 1 tight end position?
Right now, it's Wanemi and Musso. He's pretty firmly entrenched in that job, and then Sal. When we play with 2 tight ends, that'll be Sal or Mark Tyson will be the fullback.
Comment on the offensive line. Number 1, Kyle Friend being the.
Sorry, guys. It's a fine. Little Jack Johnson.
Kyle Friend, obviously being the leader, the center. A lot of guys, again, coming in who are new. Can you comment on as far as their potential and if there's any worry there with protecting PJ and the effective running game?
I'm pretty confident in our first 5 guys. I feel like they're ready to go, and we have some guys that are running with the 2s that I think are going to be ready. Leon Johnson's really versatile. Jacob Quinn. So there's some good battles there. Samaje Reed and Adrian Sullivan are coming along. They're young guys. In terms of the incoming freshman, Jalen Robinson is probably a year away. He's going to be a heck of a talent. It's just all new for him. James McHale could play this year if we needed him to. He's developing quickly. And Aaron Ruff, I think, in 3 or 4 games, we're preparing him like we're going to play him and see if he's ready. And then we have some other guys that are kind of in the program that do a great job. Pete Calderon, Gordon Thomas, Nick Apostolou. So there's enough guys there that are that are doing what we're asking them to do. But in terms of starters, I think we have a good starting 5, and with 2 other guys that are ready to go, and then some other guys we're just going to keep bringing along over the next weeks.
How are you health-wise, Matt? Anybody stand out?
It's amazing as you get to that Wednesday when camp's over, guys start to get healthy as you get into game week. So we have a bunch of guys that have worked really hard to get healthy, and Will Hayes was out there practicing today because he said, "Coach, I'm practicing."
Right.
You guys can. I'm ready. Doctor said I'm cleared. practicing.
His first time back.
Yeah, first time back. Matt Eaton was out there today. Kyle Friend was out there today. So those guys have really pushed themselves. With the day off yesterday, they've really pushed themselves to get themselves healthy, get themselves back out there. So we have nicks, we have bruises. We practice pretty physically. We believe in that, and I think our team believes in that now. And so, guys, they come back and they play through it. So I'm pleased with our guys. And if a guy gets hurt, we know we have enough depth that the next guy can step in and do the job.